Let's talk about why friendships and even our day-to-day life can grow stale. It can be hard to break the cycle of boring and stuckness when we're in it. Even worse, we lose a truckload of energy to that heaviness and boredom. You know the ennui, the sameness I'm talking about. You do the same work, eat the same food, think about basically the same stuff every day. And when you get together with friends, you do the same things and talk about all that sameness. It's lackluster. I felt it. You're not alone, and it's not your fault. And I'll tell you why. Your brain is wired to travel the same well-worn circuits, and it won't change until you change. And I'll tell you something else. When you change, because after you watch this, what's stopping you, you're not only going to feel more joyful, but the world around you will become more joyful too. You'll blossom, and your friendships will blossom. The beginning and the end is always you. How you see the world, how you think about the world, and how you talk about the world. And you know what? That's empowering, because all of that is stuff you can change. And when you see how easy it is, you're going to want to share this video with your friends and family who could use some more sparkle too. Hello, friends. If you're new here, the warmest welcome to you. You're in the right place at the perfect time as we explore the magic of play and spontaneity in friendships. Why? Because on top of all that joy, the research shows that the quality of our everyday relationships determines our health and wellness as we age. Walking in forests helps too. And we could do something to make our relationships shine, which means more health and more wellness for everyone. And that's worth so much more than gold. You can't buy that kind of love. I'm Kristen Collier, a writer and a coach helping people find their sparkle with practices that rewire the brain for more joy, better health, and happier relationships. Like and subscribe to this video now if you want more on these topics. Today, I'm going to share some solid strategies that you can use to re-sparkle the friendships and relationships that matter to you. And they all do, right? So whether you practice these 3 strategies with an old friend, a new friend, someone who's not yet a friend, yes, that's possible, or with your 4-legged favorite, your life is going to get shinier. So what are these strategies? First, you'll learn how to bring something that lights you up to the relationship. Second, you'll learn how to embrace rather than resist the unexpected. And third, you'll learn how to bring playfulness to your welcome, your hello, in such a way that others will wish that they were your friends too. People are going to be lining up, and you are going to be ready to be that joyful friend that you've always been looking for. Here's the thing. When you have joy, you give joy without even trying. And when others receive joy, they give it back to you. It's a perpetual loop. And this is a good kind of eddy to get stuck in. Ooh, I forgot to tell you what inspired me to make this. It was a date with a friend. I wrote about it in a story called 2 Coffees, 2 Sisters, and a Sale at My Favorite Nursery. Stay tuned after I share these 3 strategies to hear the saga that spawned it all. Okay, let's start with strategy number 1. Notice what lights you up. Ooh, the sun. What lights you up, and share it. This is so important. How many times have you gone to coffee with a friend and had a nice time but felt like maybe you were also getting a little old and boring? I mean, coffee's cool, but what if there's more to life? Or maybe you went for a walk or a bike ride, but that's all you do with that friend. It's good to catch up, don't get me wrong, but it's also good to do something new, maybe something playful and adventurous. When I say notice what lights you up, I mean this thing that lights you up has to be good enough that you'd have an awesome time doing it alone. And of course, it would be double fun to share. When you get giddy, oof, it's contagious. So be creative, get goofy, and have fun with this. If you don't think of yourself as goofy or creative, that's okay. We all start somewhere. And when you come up with one out-of-the-box idea, that's a win. We all get better with practice. And if you're already creative and goofy, level up. Here are some things that light me up that I've shared with a friend. So those of you who have been following me for a while know that I love the outdoors so much that when I want to watch a movie, which is rare because it's hard for me to sit still, but when I want to watch a movie, I want to watch it outside if I can. So I set up this great little spot in my backyard that has a bench, and I had a vision that I would put a projector out there and a screen, but I don't have a projector or screen. And I had this dream that I would have my friend Jenny Lynn over to watch Freaks and Geeks. And the reason is that Jenny Lynn and I went to high school together back in the 80s. And she has more stories about high school, probably because she's one of my few friends that we have been to high school together. So we, chat about that at times, and she shares her perspective and how she's growing and all that stuff. Anyway, I wanted to watch Freaks and Geeks with her, and I had this idea to do this last year, but didn't have the screen, didn't have the projector, but more than anything else, because I thought, I could use my laptop, more than anything else, I realized that, I just was like booked through the summer in so many ways, and I just didn't slow down enough to watch a movie, but I didn't give up on it. And so this year I had a chance, and it happened, and we actually did watch the movie. Okay, so that is one thing that lights me up. Another thing, and I'll tell you about how that happened in strategy 2. But another thing that lights me up is nurseries, plants, right? And my friend Jamie and I, that's the Two Sisters, Two Coffees story. I wanted to bring her to this particular nursery because I knew she would totally love it. It's really, really special, the Little Red Farm Nursery. And so I had in mind to blindfold her and drive her there, and then take off her blindfold when she was in the middle of the greenhouse with those rows of gorgeous plants and all the art and all of it, and just be floored. But that didn't work out. And that leads us to strategy 2. And strategy 2 is seeing the unexpected as an opportunity. So I had wanted to take Jamie to that nursery immediately when I found it in May, and then Sadie and I both got pretty major injuries. So nothing happened for a couple of months. And lo and behold, in August, I get this message from the nursery that they're having a 40% off sale, which means all of the contents of the nursery is going to be going away, right? So this is serious. And so I realize this is a pivotal point. Am I even going to take her to the nursery this year? Or am I going to wait till spring? Or, how am I going to work this? This means the blindfold is no longer a good fit. And that is the unexpected that I had to work with. I decided to tell her about the sale, which was a great idea, and it prepared her. And I was also able to ask her if she wanted to go in those conditions. So it took away the surprise element, but there was now the sale element that we could work with, which was super fun. And we got a couple of copies, and it was an absolute blast. More on that story at the end after the strategies. Okay, and now back to the Jenny Lynn story. The unexpected angle was this. I'd been dreaming about her coming and watching Freaks and Geeks. And every time I walked by that bench in the pear garden, I would see us sitting there, and I would prime about it. Those of you who are new here, check out my videos on priming for more on that. So I used that time that I could have been disappointed and frustrated, instead getting heartfully prepared for the best that could come out of these particular circumstances. And in that way, I was really welcoming the unexpected and what it had to offer. So I was just editing the video, and I realized that I hadn't explained to you what the unexpected thing was with Jenny Lynn's visit. So I told you that I spent a year waiting for the right time to actually watch Freaks and Geeks with her. And there was this one afternoon where she messaged me and asked me if I wanted a composter. She was actually giving me a Lomi composter, this very, very cool bougie composter that you can turn your food scraps into compost within 24 hours. I was like, heck yeah. So she said, oh, great, I'll drop it by later. And I thought, it's Sunday. This is the day that I was hoping that we could watch movies together someday. That's what I've been priming for. And I thought, could I do it today? Could this be the day that we do it, that we begin? And, thank goodness for the unexpected, because there was that sense of readiness. And that's what priming really, it opens the neural pathways for possibility. And I was able to see that this was a possibility, and I jumped on it and I said yes. And now I'm home because yeah, I had to blitz out to film the rest of this video, but now I'm home so I can actually show you the little spot where we watched the movie. Okay, so this is the spot where we watched the movie, and this is my little movie watching spot. So there's this little bench, and then we would set up like a little screen here, and this that plant used to be like 15 feet tall. It's a volunteer. It's a really happy volunteer. Anyway, we would put the screen here and we'd watch the movie, which is super fun. And now I'm sitting at the bench, and I want to tell you a couple of other unexpected things that really added to that date night that were super fun. Seda had actually set up this ping pong table that we have only used once. And I had this dream that I wanted to play ping pong, right? I do a lot of dreaming. And so she had set it up and so she could roll drawings out on, because she's a designer. And she had to flatten out these drawings in this piece of, I don't know, Borco that was on her drawing board. So it was out, and I said, gosh, we could actually play ping pong, because of course Seda's shoulder is still healing from surgery, so she's not going to play ping pong with me. I thought, Jenny Lynn's coming to watch this movie and we can play ping pong. I mean, to go from thinking that I had no time at all to do anything with a friend to realizing, I'm going to do this this movie night and play ping pong with her was a great way of harvesting the unexpected. And then it rippled outwards, because when I went to Jenny Lynn's house the following week, she offered to host and do the same thing. We'd done popcorn. We did, all the little lights around here, twinkle lights, super fun. We did it at her house, and she thought to set up cornhole. She had like this traveling camping cornhole game. It was hilarious trying to figure out how to set it up and then playing cornhole. And those are things that we hadn't done before. So it was a treat for us to break out of the box of what we would usually be doing a movie night, just like sitting on the couch, being able to do it outside, having popcorn, fun drinks, ping pong, cornhole. Suddenly it's an event. It turns something that is just a thing to do into an event, which had a lot of chatting and had a lot of, honestly, I think that it's been really sweetly adding to our relationship and like growing the culture of our relationship around what we talk about and what we do, and that just little dose of creativity really grows and expands with momentum. So that is the power of the unexpected. And that leads us to number 3. Speaking of welcome, strategy number 3 is to offer a playful welcome to a friend. This welcome can be with your words or your actions. It's the kind of welcome that feels so good to receive that if someone gave this welcome to you, you could bask in it for like an hour. For example, there was once a party at Seda's work. It was a picnic in the park, and I showed up to it before she did, and I was kind of bored out of my gourd. And so I was very, very happy when she arrived. And when she came walking to me across the lawn, I ran to meet her with open arms. Gave her a big hug, super sweet and fun for me, super sweet and fun for her. When we walked back, somebody said, gosh, I wish someone would welcome me like that. And I thought, wow, it's too bad we don't really get excited to see each other more often, because that moment of reunion is really sacred. It's really special. When you think about it, it's a coming together. It's an acknowledgement of who you are to each other. And another friend that I practice that with every time I see her is my friend Jane, because she and I are so affectionate with each other. We don't have to go with the cultural norm of just hello, hi, shaking hands, a quick hug. Jane and I, we just like enjoy the process of getting excited to see each other, and we give each other cheek squeezes and we give each other hugs, and then we do it all again. So if you have a friend that you greet this way, you know what that's like, and we can do more of this in our lives. Or if you're not doing it, you can give this a try. Just like build up a little at a time and see how it's received. Find a friend who is more affectionate that you can start with and see how it goes. But to create this special welcome, whether it's your full attention and saying hello, or it's like a full excited arms out, throw your arms around them, running across the field, kind of Kermit and Miss Piggy welcome. Whatever it is, enjoy that welcome. Put some focus, some intention in that welcome. And now if you're thinking to yourself, well, that's well and fine if you have a friend, but I don't. The good news for you is that an intentional welcome can even be for someone you haven't met yet, because that playful greeting is always better, and sometimes it even makes you a friend. The other day, I was headed out to the front yard to turn off the water on my garden when this woman came up the drive, and she had on a lanyard and she was holding a clipboard looking all official. And I said to her, "Oh, well, I'm so glad you're here because I was just wanting to sell you something." And she laughed and I laughed. And that like broke the ice by flipping our roles in a way that all kinds of other conversation was possible. And after she after she stopped telling me about quantum fiber optics, which is who she was working for, we shared about our lives, and she told me about how she had been a coach and all of her experience there, or at least some of it. And we had a lot in common. And when she gave me her business card, it had her business number on it. And then she scribbled her home number as well, because she was like, well, we have so much in common. The world is full of so many people who could be friends that we just haven't met, right? Another example is that I met my spouse of over 30 years for the first time in a town that had fewer people in it than most high schools do. What are the chances that I would have met Seda in tiny Sundance, Wyoming? So the unexpected is always right around the corner. And if you welcome the opportunity, then that chance meeting with some intentionality is going to be memorable, which definitely it can be if you use strategy number 3. Offer playful welcome. I hope you're already thinking about who else in your life would benefit from learning to bring some sparkle to their friendships with those 3 strategies. You might have friends, relatives, or adult children who could use those skills. When you share inspiration and information like this, it makes the world a better place. And I thank you for it. Also, I want to hear your stories in the comments. Tell me about the time you ran to meet the unexpected or got goofy in your welcome with a friend. I want to hear about the creative gatherings you have planned or you are planning for your near and dears. Inspire us all with your stories. We're not finished here. As promised, I will now share with you something that lights me up. This is a piece of writing I sent out in my newsletter, and if you want to get such sweetness in your inbox weekly, you can subscribe at callyourconnections.com. While you're at it, hit subscribe to my YouTube channel just below for more about bringing joy into your life and relationships. You ready for story time? Okay, here we go. This story is called 2 Coffees, 2 Sisters, and a Sale at My Favorite Nursery. I forgot to say decaf. I tell my friend Jamie, eyes widening. Jamie gasps, I did too. We laugh. Oh, well. I shake my head. Neither of us needs a caffeine rush to spike our friendship with joy. I've been planning this date for months, priming for it. I feel like I'm cutting school on a joyride. Pulling out of the drive-thru, I turn my van onto the freeway. We're talking a mile a minute, catching up on our favorite recipes, recent adventures, and family affairs. It's all so good, but Jamie has no idea how much better it's about to become because she has never been to the Little Red Farm Nursery. I discovered the nursery back in May when I was looking for a rare globe thistle plant. And from the time I stepped into that magical place, I just knew I had to show it to Jamie. The best plant stylist on the planet works there. Flora is arranged in striking color combinations at various heights and depths, and mirrors and vintage window frames are hung to capture or reflect back the wonder of what can be. And I want to take it all home for my garden, which I am definitely in danger of doing today as the nursery is running an end of season 40% off sale. I'd aimed to sneak Jamie into the nursery blindfolded and watch her have a heart attack in the greenhouse when I took it off, but then the sale. I spilled the beans. No blindfold. This sale required planning. Stock portfolios being rearranged, funds liquidated, husbands prepared. 40% off can mean a lot when it comes to your dream trees and bushes. Also, a girl needs to be prepared for the crowds. So I asked Jamie if she wanted to go. She was like, heck yeah. But I didn't tell her the address. And friend, I'm not sure which of us felt happier when Jamie's mouth dropped open upon arrival. Oh my gosh, Kristen, she cried. It is so dang cute. I snagged the hydrangea while Jamie zeroed in on the Japanese maple. And here's the super sweetness. Jamie watched me swap out the hydrangea from our cart no less than 5 times over the next 75 minutes. This one was more compact. That one had blue in the name. This one's fuller. That one's taller. Not only did Jamie stand by me without complaining, she turned the bushes this way and that so I could get a better view. She put a hydrangea in my arms when she saw that it was inching its way off the shelf at me. Well, the physics of my hands played a part. She understood. I helped Jamie look for the perfect Japanese maple. She texted pictures to her husband. He was delighted. Again, the choices. The maple looked better from the front. This maple looked better from the front. That one from all angles. Isn't all of life a series of decisions? Carefully, we choose what we love most. We gather to us the people, places, and things that align with our heart of hearts. My date with Jamie at the nursery did more than gift our gardens. It grew our friendship. Our sisterhood is now touched with the patience of waiting and supporting each other through big decisions. It contains the magic of a date lovingly planned and spontaneously tweaked. We're in it for the joy. When have you put your creative all into a date and then had it go better than you'd ever expected? Friends, I want to thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you next week.